but that felt creepy even for myself. Okay, so over the Easter weekend, James Gunn and Warner Brothers, I cannot speak today, that is great. Over the Easter weekend, let me restart that sentence again. James Gunn and Warner Brothers Studio released another trailer for Suicide Squad, which I don't understand why, but okay. I'm a sucker for comic book movies, even though I have not read any comic books. Makes sense to me. So let's check out this trailer. I don't know why my phone decided to lock itself. I'm trying to press play. Are we gonna press play? I cannot speak. Press play. Play.
Supervillains. Sad souls in costumes. Wanting you to think they're all dark and deep.
Who's that voice?
What's it like? Living life as a punchline. But all it would take would be one blessed act of rebellion. For you to restore your dignity in its entirety.
Is that Peter Capaldi voice there?
You know the deal. Complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence. You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
Love him or hate him, these are your brothers and sisters for the next few days.
Any questions? Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
We're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, he changed it. It's now a clean trailer.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
I thought you were the crazy one.
Oh, yeah.
How does that make you peacemaker, bro?
Here's the deal. We fail the mission, you die.
If we find out any information you give us is false,
You die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates,
You die.
What? No.
Feels very Western. I don't know why. It feels very freaking Western. And I don't know if that's the vibe James Gunn was going for. But it feels very Western. And I'm very on the fence when it comes to Western movies. The score! Oh my god, the beautiful score. Have you guys noticed that I love scores? I kind of like had a mini tweet rant. And I say mini tweet rant purely because it was less than 140 characters. But I love scores. They're my babies. Oh god, I need a life. Anyway, so that's definitely the clean version that you can show to your family. That's going to be the version that's shown at cinemas, which now I understand why.
6:25 or
Give me
anytime
one
on the ABC Me app.
second. Sorry. TV has a timer. Timers are bad. Lucky it didn't explode. That was a bad joke. I apologize. But anyway, back to the point. So, like I said, that the trailer feels very Western. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I'm on the fence when it comes to Western movies. I either love them or hate them. Like, there's no real in-between, and it depends on how the movie's executed. But this is the trailer that you're going to see at the cinemas. It feels a lot more friendly-ish. And I say ish because people are still going to die. They took out the coughing joke. You know, if you cough without covering your mouth, you die. Which I think was a needed thing to cut. Like, no offense, but yeah, that was a bit of a weird joke. I reckon we'll see it in the movie, but still, it's a weird joke. It's very Harley, but a weird joke. it's nice to see all the other characters being utilized as well. I can guarantee you that I literally don't know anybody in this movie besides Harley Quinn. Like I said, I don't read comics, so seeing all these characters come to life again. And again, it does mirror David Ayer's Suicide Squad trailers, and I feel like it's going to mirror his, but in a different context. And unlike his, the whole thing actually looks like it's going to be a movie and not some weird joke. I can't even remember what I thought of Suicide Squad. I think I was on the fence. I was like, in context it works, out of context it doesn't. But James Gunn's, I feel like, you know, from start to finish, it's gonna work. I've been following his posts where fans asking questions about this take, and seeing his answers has been very insightful for me, because I've gone, oh, you know, his plan isn't to make King Shark the most adorable, cuddly thing you want to see. He's supposed to be dangerous. But somehow, having that hand joke, it's made him cute and cuddly. Even though he's a freaking shark, and he can rip you in half. I hate sharks. I hate even going in the water. I always seem to almost land in the hospital every time I go to the beach. Not gonna lie, hospital trips. Not a good thing to have as a child. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. I think I like I said in the last one, in the last Suicide Squad trailer reaction I did, you know, it's an action western type of movie, or at least that's the vibe I'm getting from these. And again, I said this before, you know, I'm seeing the exact same replica of Ayer's cut, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about this. The only difference is now we have a starfish as our bad guy instead of Enchantress, and I feel like it would have been, I think I like the fact that we've got a different character as a bad guy. Was it Cairo? He's a big starfish. The only reason I know of this villain is because at Movie World, you've got to go on the Justice League ride, and you got to shoot the starfish. That's a freaking villain. He's a freaking villain. You put starfishes on your face and he can mind control you. That's in the Movie World ride, and that's how I know this guy, and that's the only way I know him. Otherwise, I would have been going, who? And I have to Google you. I really don't like to. I'm really lazy, okay? Not like I have my phone in my hand 24/7. Well, 99% of the day. But like, that's the only reason I know of Cairo. Is it East Cairo? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I apologize. I suck at names. But like, that's the only reason I know of this guy. If that's the same villain I'm thinking of, then he's the villain from the Movie World rights. Then I know him. And I think it's the most weirdest villain DC has. And I'm only saying that because I've heard of the ones that are actually out there. But I haven't heard of all of them. Like, I haven't heard of Polka Dot Man. I haven't heard of Rooker's character. Peacemaker, I swear to God, Peacemaker is not Peacemaker. And I think that's the whole point. Like, oh God, DC, you guys have some weird characters. And I'm in love. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great that James is bringing all these different characters out and showcasing all these wonderful characters who aren't Harley Quinn and Joker. But I am mad that Riddler's not in there. Because, like, he's my boy. I love Riddler. I'm that creepy fangirl who loves Riddler. I can't tell any riddles, but I love that guy. So, I like the fact that there's so many characters in there. I just hope, and I think this is something that everyone's pointed out already, you know, if James Gunn is replicating the first Suicide Squad, then you can tell that a lot of characters are going to die pretty quickly. Which may or may not be a good thing depending how attached you get. But I would prefer these characters to be fleshed out before they die. I would prefer these characters to have a reason to die. Whereas the original Suicide Squad, they died and it was like, oh, we didn't care about you anyway, so. You want me to be sad because you blew up? You gave me no reason to care about these characters. So I feel like James is going to be like, yo, so we know these characters are going to die, except for Harley Quinn. But like, oh, and except for Peacemaker, because he's getting his own TV show, which has now been confirmed. But like, we know you care about these characters, and we know we're going to kill them, but we're going to give you a reason to care. So, trying to find that humanness to these villains is going to be cool. It's going to be an interesting way to touch on it. And I think looking at how James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy, which is Marvel, not DC, shh. But the way that he did Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, he brought these characters alive, and he showed the world that, you know, Marvel's got some odd brains too, but like, we can care about these guys too. It may look weird and dumb, but it's gonna be cool to care about them. So I can see that he's trying to do that with Suicide Squad. I'm just mad that it's almost the exact same setup as the first one, and like, I don't get the point of that. I really don't get the point of remaking Suicide Squad like less than 10 years after it's been released. It's a thing alright, I get it, I'm a film student, I gotta learn, but like, it's one thing I'm not understanding at all during this process. But yeah, no, I think that's it. When does it come out? It comes out, I should really learn to look at these dates, because I clearly never do. Let's see if I can spell Suicide Squad. Oh, it comes out the 5th of August, which is 122 days away. I like that my phone tells me this stuff. Actually, the cinemas that I like to go to. 122 days away. That's 22 days more than Space Jam. Yeah. But 5th of August, which is a nice little thing. I don't know what else to say to that. So I'm gonna go now. I'm probably just gonna go keep following James Gunn's Twitter replies on him answering fan questions, because I like that. He seems to be very insightful and one of those directors who seems to care about how the audience reacts to his work, which I think is promising, because like, you look at a lot of filmmakers and they're like, yeah, it's my work, deal with it. Whereas James is like, oh, you want to know about this? Okay, we'll break it down for you the best way I can without spoilers. So thank you, Mr. Gunn. I think that's a cool thing to do. I think I'm losing my voice. I've been talking for way too long. It's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. And I'm gonna go stalk James Gunn online. See ya.